Hey, so welcome everybody to the Motivate Podcast Show. I'm your host, Rich Wall Street Williams, man. And on the Motivate Podcast Show, we always say less, but we definitely going to believe for more. We have been having such an amazing and wonderful and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah, I mean, you just put it all on top of that time as it relates to having this conversation on sight versus vision. And and what I'm discovering is that there's a difference between what we see sight and what we see vision. Sight and vision aren't necessarily the same. A statement I made about 2 months ago, and I had some side conversations about it. And the statement was that we see through our eyes, but we don't see with our eyes. We see through our eyes, but we don't see with our eyes. We see through our eyes, and we don't see with our eye. What does that mean? So the eyes identify a few hundred shades of color, different shades of light and color, and the brain can interpret it literally thousands of different shades of light and color. And so what that showed me was that light and color is coming through my eyes. It's being interpreted by my brain, and then the brain is projecting the image. So I see through my eyes, but I don't necessarily see with my eyes. The eyes are the lens of the mind, right? And so I'm having these conversations on sight and vision because it's important. It's important to have an understanding of the difference between sight and vision. Here's another way to look at that. At night, when you're driving, you turn your headlights on. Your headlights have the capability to project in front of your car approximately 100 or so yards, right? So as long as I'm moving forward, I will always see within the parameters, the range, the area of my headlights. So sight then is the field of vision that's created by my headlights. Vision gives me something, shows me something, tells me something beyond the field of my vision. I hope this is making sense. Okay, let's keep up that same analogy and put it this way. Headlights are sight. It allows me to see within the environment, right, or the exposure of the headlights. Vision is my GPS system. Vision is giving me direction. It's giving me insight. It's giving me information about my area based upon a satellite that's hundreds of miles above the earth, right? And so it's important to have sight and vision as it relates to your life. It's important to have sight and vision as it relates to your marriage. It's important to have sight or vision as it relates to your business. So understand that sight is the lens of the eyes and vision is the lens of the brain. Sight is the lens of the eyes, vision is the lens of the brain. That's why it's so important to guard your thoughts. You know, the scripture says in Proverbs 4:23 that out of the heart flows the issues of life. Out of the heart flows the issues of life. Out of the heart flows the issues of life. Issues simply means boundary frames, etc. There's another scripture in Hebrews chapter 11 that says that we understand that the whole world was framed by the word of God. What does that have to do with sight and vision? You need to understand that vision is how you frame your world. See, what I see in my on the canvas of my imagination has a lot to do with what I experience in my life. Let me put it to you another way. Another way to say it is this: that if I can hold it in my mind, I will eventually hold it in my hand. Now that sounds like something crazy. It sounds new age. That's not what the intent of this conversation. The intent of this conversation is that understanding that vision is beyond what you see. Vision is beyond the realm of senses. You got to have a vision for your life. You have to have a vision for your marriage. You have to have a vision for your business, for your company. You got to have a vision on how to effectively raise children, right? So you got to you have to get information that's beyond your environment. You have to get information beyond what I can physically see and what I currently know. I have to get away from people that have my problems and hang with people that have my answers. Let's take a look at this. I was talking not too long ago, and we were talking about the pursuit and the goals and moving towards things. And I said, you got to have blind faith. You got to have blind faith. And I'm reminded of a story of a man who was climbing a, along the side of a mountain. He's climbing along the side of a mountain, and the wind picked up, and the temperature started to drop well below freezing. So here this guy is, he's climbing a mountain, and he's dangling by a rope off the side of the mountain. And it's pitch black, and all he sees is darkness. And so he screams out and he said, "Is there anyone up there that can help me?" From above, a voice said, "Yes. Let go of the rope." The guy thought about it for a couple of seconds, and then he said, "Is there anyone else up there that can help me?" No response. The help was to let go of the rope. The next day, they found the man frozen to death, hanging by a line with a rope, and he was simply 2 feet above the ledge. If he would have let go of the rope, he would have safely landed on the ledge, and he could have walked to safety and joined the camp and get next to the warmth of the fire inside of and then sleep inside of a tent. But he spent the night dangling by a rope along the side of a mountain because he didn't exercise blind faith. He couldn't see beyond his circumstance. Friend, I want to encourage you right now that you have got to see beyond your circumstances. You have to create a vision on the canvas of your imagination. Uh, Hebrews 11, chapter 11, verse 1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for." Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. See, vision gives me evidence of things that I can't see. And so on the canvas of my imagination, I can go to the end of my relationship. What does that mean? I can see the end of a conversation with my wife before I enter into that conversation. Come on now, fellas, be honest, tell the truth. You know that there's sometimes you're about ready to have a conversation. Your wife may say something because you know it's always the woman. My wife's not on with me tonight, so I can say that, right? You know, it's always the woman. Yeah. Your wife can say something to you that can strike a chord, right? It could push a button. And then you got to be able to say, in your mind, you have to go to the end of that conversation. Now, if I say this, it's probably going to set some things off, and that's not where I want to go. And that's not the direction. That's not the intentionality. That's not what I desire to get from my relationship. So you got to go to the end of that conversation. You got to see the end of that conversation. What does the end of that conversation? If you say that, what does the end of the conversation look like? If I say this, what does the end of the conversation? See, that's vision. The canvas, the imagination of your mind, you go to the end of the conversation. You know, I found a lot of what we call heated fellowship. Some people call it heated fellowship. Others call it arguing in a relationship. I find that if you just simply say, babe, you're right. But you know what, hon, I probably can do it a different way. Right? I appreciate your input. I'm telling you, whether she's right or wrong, whether you feel as though she's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. So you got to go to the end of the conversation, the point I'm trying to make. So you got to have blind faith. You got to just trust the process. Some people stare so long at the promise, right? Some people stare so long at the process, but they forget about the promise. They feel the uncomfortableness of the journey, but they lose sight of the reason for the journey. They lose sight of the fruit, the development, the growth that will come out of the journey. So you gotta have blind faith. So when you're going down this process of creating a vision for your life and looking forward into 2023 to be your best year ever, friend, I'm telling everyone that I meet that 2023 is going to be my best year ever. Let me tell you something. I've had some great years. But 2023 for me, it's going to be my best year ever. Why is that? Because I've learned to ask myself a couple of questions. I've learned to evaluate my situation. right? And how do you evaluate your situation? Well, you ask yourself a couple of questions. Question number one is, what did I do, create, or experience this year that I'm really proud of? This is where you want to write down your accomplishments, positive experiences. It puts you in a great mindset going into and throughout this new year, right? What did I do, uh, create, or experience this year that I'm really proud of? Let me ask yourself another question. Question number two is, what mistakes did I make that taught me something? What are the lessons that I learned from them? How can I do better? This helps you reflect on mistakes and improve. Now, this is an opportunity to focus on whatever didn't happen in 2021 or 2020 or 2022. That's not what this is saying. Okay, here's some things in 2022 as an example that didn't go well for me in my business. Here are some things in 2022 that didn't go well in my finances. Here are some things in 2022 that didn't go well in my relationship. So you got to be in a position that you're both humble and hungry at the same time. See, humble meaning that I can learn anything from any situation and anyone. I'm willing, I'm open, I'm willing to see the truth about myself. That's humble. However, at the same time, I'm hungry. I still want more. I desire more. And it's within content. I want a better relationship with my wife. I want to take it to the next level. I want to see how high this thing can go. I want to have more financial success in my business. Why do I want to have more success, financial success? Why? So I can, not because I can stack up money, but the more financial success, and it's just me, the more financial success that I have puts me in a position of helping more people, helping dreams and reality come to pass for other individuals. It helped me to set my children up. It helped me to invest into what they want me to invest in, or invest into projects that they have going on. Right? But you got to be hungry and you have to be humble at the same time. But you're evaluating yourself. You're asking yourself these questions. What's the third question? What story have I been telling myself that I'm willing to let go of? Friend, what story are you telling yourself? What's the story you're telling yourself that's keeping you from going to the next level? Are you telling yourself, I'm not good enough? I'm too fat? The color of my skin? I'm not intelligent like so and so. I don't have a degree, license, and or the certification. Understand this. Let me just say this. Friend, hear me, and hear me good. That you do not need to have a certification, license, that or a degree and or a degree to be successful in life. There's too many people. I met too many people who don't have a license and or certification and or a degree successful. Success then is defined by the advancement towards a worthy ideal or goal. Success is therefore being defined as the progression towards a worthy ideal or goal. See, that worthy ideal or goal, that can only be interpreted by the individual. So you got to feel good about your success, friend. You got to believe that you are the best at what you do. You got to believe that there's no one like you, no one comes close to you, and you can never be replaced. There's not another Richard P. Williams Jr. I don't care if you name another man on this planet Richard P. Williams Jr. That's my name. There's not another Richard P. Williams Jr. No one can do what I do the way that I do it. I have my own swag on my success. You should have your own swag. You understand swag? You gotta have your own moxie. You gotta have your own type of success. Then it sounds cocky, right? It can sound cocky. Let me put it that way. But there's a humility and there's a hunger that's wrapped up inside of that. Now, friend, understand this. Now, for me, when I get up in the morning, when I look at my day, I already know that no day has the authority to define or decide how it's going to be. Days don't happen to me. I happen to days. Come on, that's the mindset. When you get up in the morning, friend, understand that this day, oh, I'm going to have a bad day. No, let me tell you something. No day has ever been given the authority to dictate to you how it's going to be. Now, what happens is we will forfeit our right in that authority over to the day, and therefore the day will determine if it's going to be good or bad for us. But the reality is, someone once said, I got up on the wrong side of the bed. You ever hear that? People said sometimes, well, I just got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Here's my response. My response is get in your car, go back home, and get up on the other side of the bed, and let's do this thing over again. When I get up in the morning, man, I'm so excited. I'm so full of joy. I'm just thankful and grateful to see another day. Any day that you're 6 feet above ground, it's a great day. Any day that you're 6 feet above ground, hey, it's a good day. Listen, there are so many other people that did not have the opportunity, friend, that you had to open up your eyes this morning. So this is the day for me. Psalms 118:24. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I am going to rejoice and be glad in it. But you got to take some evaluation of this, right? You ask yourself these questions as you're moving through this process. Then you want to start creating this vision for 2023. Go to the end of this year. What do you see? What do you see in your family? What do you see in your marriage? What do you see in your relationship? What do you see in your business? What's happening financially for you? What's happening for your investments? What do you see? Create the vision reminders of what you see. Vision reminders of what you see. Vision reminders of what you see. Create them. Put them around the house, right? Put them around the house. Create vision reminders of what you see. Only talk about what you see and not what you saw. I know grammatically that is incorrect, but I think you get the point. Only talk about what you see. So without vision, you're locked into your past and tomorrow will reflect it. Without vision, you are locked into your past and tomorrow will reflect it. Without vision, you're locked into your past. Tomorrow will reflect it. Without vision, hope fades. Without vision, dreams die. Without vision, motivation leaves. And without vision, discouragement moves in. Without a vision of your success, mediocrity is normal. Without a vision of your success, until the promise of change is greater than my present pain, I will remain the same. Friend, until the promise, right, of change is greater than the present pain that you're experiencing, you're going to remain the same. You have to literally be saturated in the promise and see the change long before you be the change. And again, I know that's not grammatically correct, but I think you understand, you get the point. So this sight versus vision, this is all about seeing a day before I live or walk in that day. Vision tells me that tomorrow is going to be, my vision tells me that tomorrow is going to be far better than today. Let me leave you with this final thought about vision. Vision will be a voice that will invite you into your future life. Vision will be a voice that will invite you into your future life. You got to understand, friend, that this is an opportunity to be something, to experience something like you've never experienced before. And you got to see it, man. You've got to see it. You got to make up that decision. You got to make that decision. You got to clarify it. You have to make that decision. You're going to have to resolve it in your mind that this is what I see and I'm moving towards it. This is what I see and I'm moving towards it. Sight versus vision. We see with our eyes, and with the brain, we see through them. So, friend, I hope this was instrumental. I hope this was information that you can benefit from. You can watch this video. Hey, follow us, like, share, and subscribe. When you see that notification, come on, jump on and ask questions. We'd love to hear from you. The Motivate Podcast Show. We always say less, but we definitely believe for more. Let's get it.